Hello, everyone. Well, as another amazing week of trading comes to an end, I want to talk about something that is probably the most important alpha that you could have as a trader. And I have the absolute pleasure of doing that by reflecting on some of these member testimonies and just absolutely incredible stories. So I'd ask that you give me a few minutes of your time, and I want to go through some of these and share some of the significance. What I thought is cool is there was quite a few that shared their equity curves since joining, and I want to talk a little bit about that in a general sense and even a more specific sense. So we'll start with Kristoff here, and this is a channel in the Discord. It's public; anyone can write in it, but you'll find many testimonies. I can't read them all, of course, but I want to focus on some of the ones that are pertinent to this topic. And if you ever get a chance to come into the Discord, I'd encourage you to read through some of these stories. And I'd also encourage you to click down. There's another channel called Scholarship Application. And these are people who are struggling in their journey. Some 5 years of trading, losing, 3 years of trading, losing, explaining what they're trying to achieve as traders and why they want to join the LATF. And I'm going to be giving away some heavily discounted and free memberships to some of these people. But we'll start with the members' testimonies. These are people who have been members of Discord. So let's start with Kristoff. The LATF is the best thing that could ever happen to me. Forever grateful to Lucky. I should say there's some chance I get emotional reading this. In many ways, I would say, you have your legacy you leave to your family and people around you, but this is probably my legacy as a trader. I just started trading in late spring, early summer this year. I mean, taking it serious. For many years, I was a classic hodler, interested in all sorts of trading theories, but didn't trade actively. If you take a look at the PNL of my trading account, you might spot when I joined the LATF. I mean it really is absolutely mind-blowing how accurate Lucky understands and can read the market. Never seen this before. His trading ideas and updates alone are priceless, and basically had paid for the Discord for many years already. But there's so much more to the LATF. There's so much more alpha in there. My progress, my learning curve, is so much better since I joined. Daily aha moments for sure. And that's the best part, because it is absolutely fulfilling to learn every day. Never would I have thought of making so much progress this early in my trading career. So there's no better place to learn all aspects of trading. Not just an edge, but the understanding of the nature of the market, the psychology of trading, and last but not least, yourself. You just have to say it again. The LATF is the best thing that could ever happen to me. Forever grateful to Lucky. And he shared his PNL curve. And, he said, can you guess where I joined? And we see this typical boom and bust cycle happening. And then here, probably at a personal low for him, just having round-tripped some progress in his trading account, we just see a steady grinding uptrend in his equity curve of looks like about it's about 45%. It looks like zeros there in the last month. And what's cool is we're going to see this multiple times. We can call this the LATF effect. Now, why is this important? Here, this is essentially random noise, and your losses are as big or bigger than your winners. You're putting all of your capital at risk. You have a couple of these, you're at negative 50, 70, 80, just going nowhere. And all of a sudden, an edge, properly managed, comes into your life, and your equity curve is just going in one direction without drawdowns. This is what your goal as a trader is. And the fact that this person is a relatively new trader and essentially joined the LATF and has this equity curve being produced is quite amazing, and it makes me really proud of what I'm doing here. We'll maybe look at a couple of these, but I want to look at some of the equity curve ones. So here's Chebby. I joined the group a few months ago, but I've been trading for years. I'm a big gambler, but even if luck smiles on me for a while, it always ends up turning during big crashes, and I lose everything, and I've lost way too much. I initially started trading to make money, but today I continue to do it more to recover some of what I lost. The Lucky Group helped me adopt a more cautious approach and diversify, and the last month has certainly been the best month I've had in terms of stability, even if sometimes I've doubted the trading ideas that are given with distant objectives. I have trouble sticking to them. I think in this case he's referring to swing trades. So we can look at his PNL curve over the last, looks like about, since the start of the year. And we have some pretty serious losses, 20K, 40K, 60K, 80K negative. Really, definitely choppy, but certainly a downtrend, not a sideways trend. This is where a couple big losses stack together. And then we see this, just grinding up, no drawdowns. And when you have something that looks like this, you can understand that this is going like this. It's not going like this. And it's quite an amazing transition for a trader's equity curve to go from this to this. We have another one. This Smint posted a testimony up higher and said, I forgot to graph the last 30 days. There you go. And this is a nice equity curve. It's just straight up, of course, right? It's hard to complain about that. Here we have Boger, and he was showing his FTMO account. And this is a cool testimony. I've been a lurker on the Discord, free, and X for quite a few months, maybe even a year, but I've not been putting in the work I should have, mainly due to my multi-year weed addiction. I've watched the setups, faded them, or FOMO'd in after they'd already almost played out. Luckily, I was going back and forth without blowing out my account around break even. In the last 2 months, as there was a discount, I decided to buy a membership. That discount was because, due to personal reasons, I was barely going to be around for the month. I locked the F in and started an FTMO challenge. Fought with my addiction, 50 days free now, small anniversary today. Congratulations. Became celibate, started other positive practices, and since becoming a member, the FTMO challenge has been going smoothly. I also decided to start a $500 futures account, which after a month grew to 2.4K. That's a massive return. I would like to see the equity curve on that. I'm also close to finishing the second phase of FTMO. Over the last 3 days, I've skipped my daily routine due to my laziness. Probably some weed withdrawals are still lingering. I was about to skip it today too, but when I woke up and saw Lucky's call to action, I had a what the F am I doing moment, and I went even harder on my routine, putting in the extra rounds of Wim Hof breathing. Hold your breath for 3 minutes. Some extra minutes of yoga, and a few extra minutes in my morning cold shower. Now I'm putting some extra effort into writing this testimony. Today's smack in the face from Lucky made me realize that an accountability partner may be great to have. If any of you guys are interested in growing together, please add me on Discord. This is him saying that, not me. You can come into my Discord though. Thank you, Lucky, for all your hard work. I can't find adequate words to thank you without being cringe. And just showing, this is the equity curve. That's nice. This is really nice. This is the equity curve on the $500 account. For some reason, I thought it was the FTMO account. And this is his FTMO certificate. There's many stories here, many incredible ones. And I almost feel, I don't want to pass up some of the ones that aren't equity curve related. So maybe at the end, I'll read some of those. Of course, I get a lot of joy out of reading this because it's why I do it. And, for anyone, people have a lot of questions about the LATF, but to me, what matters is that you can become a profitable, consistent trader, confident, and you'll see dozens of testimonies here, well, hundreds actually, of testimonies that speak to that. So Julian says, it's my second month in this Discord, and I'm blown away by the amount of learning material, advice, community, and explanations in here. I joined 2 other crypto Discords before, but this one is a league on its own. You can tell Lucky isn't doing it for the monetary gains. He is doing it for passion and others to succeed. That makes him unique for me. Aside from simple signals, you are getting a lot of explanations, thought process, and most importantly, a deep dive into the mental aspects of being a successful trader. Oh, and can you spot the time I joined in my portfolio? And the same thing, just this straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up. No edge, just noise. Very risky as well, because this can go to zero very quickly, to just grinding up. One direction. That's what we want to do with our equity curves. Here we can see Soko came here the 24th of June this year as I discovered Lucky on X, among the others mentioned by MT, that's Monitar. Quickly made a decision to join for 1 month, not for the signals and easy cake, but just to learn it first. After a week, I knew 1 month going to be just a start of something new in my trading career. Never been a guy who likes to show up. Been always a silent learner, but I gotta say, the most I gathered is not only profit, although I treat it as a side effect of good work and a good mentorship too, but humility to myself and understanding who I am, how psychology affects us and our decisions, and how trading is the mirror of ourselves in real life. Finally, is that we can always improve no matter what. Thanks, Lucky, what you have been doing here and what you built. Hopefully, you will improve many people in your life path. Just try to cut quickly the R-tards on X as quick as you cut the losses. Adding a small summary of one of my testing prep accounts loaded with 6.6K the day before I joined. Although I gotta say, I've had a small background in trading just on different sectors. And he started at 6.6K here, and the day before he joined, and amazing, he's up 21,000. And nothing too spooky on that equity curve. I did ask members to stop in and leave some reviews, because I got this review, or this testimony, or whatever you'd call it, from Sergio. And it was interesting. He basically was a member years ago, and he left years ago. He was a member for a couple of years. Said, was chatting with a crypto homie earlier, and I had a look on here, all about timing, about the memberships. I was a member here for a couple years. I wasn't overly active in chat or sharing much, high-level antisocial vibes, but I quietly absorbed everything. Over time, I became sustainably profitable, and bluntly, I copied the style, concepts, and ideas until, through relentless stubbornness, they became my own. Decided and was fortunate to be able to add size to my initial account, and the rest is history. Eventually, I moved on without saying goodbye. Sorry about that. These days, I'm trading and considering myself a good asset allocator, have an accountant, doing my taxes, and sometimes buy things I don't need. My trading style has evolved a lot since I first joined, but I couldn't have done it without the foundation of risk management and the multiple ideas approach I learned here. Yes, it's fine to be wrong and keep an open mind, and sometimes it's even finer to accept I effed up. Big shout to some of the OG ledges here sharing their own trade ideas and sometimes feelings. If you still around, I hope you're killing it. Long story short, big thanks and best wishes to the King Ape for being potentially one of the most influential people on my lifestyle without even knowing it. Sometimes it's the quiet ones. So I thanked him for stopping by to share that. It's kind of in some ways, I've gotten quite a few DMs over the years of people who kind of send me similar messages. They ride off into the sunset, and I'm really happy for them, but definitely appreciate people stopping by to say a few things. there's a lot of I want to read all of these. I mean, I really do, because they're awesome, and I really appreciate the thoughtfulness that went into reading these. I guess I would say I would encourage people to read these because it tells a story, and the story isn't just about the Discord. The story is about the journey of a trader, and you'll see people in all stages of their journeys in here. Some who joined a month ago and they just had their best month ever, or some who have joined and they've made progress, but they're not where they want to be, and some who have become full-time traders and have been doing it for years now. And but you're seeing a consistent story, and it's not that the only way to achieve this is here, but it is very hard to achieve it on your own. There was one more I was going to read, but I can't quite remember where it came in, and I think I'll scroll a little bit, because I think you know what? I think I linked to it here. I'm not going to look for too long because I didn't really prepare for this video, so maybe I'll go one more look. It was here. So this was cool. So the Faz who left this, he's only left 9 messages in the Discord, and 2 of them were just saying, looking forward to joining. What's up, everyone? Happy to be a part of the fam. And that was almost a year ago. Written a couple other words a few times over the last year. And this was his testimony. Good day, everyone. Read in Lucky's tone. I left a very brief review a couple months ago with the intent of writing something more in depth. Some important life things happened, and after a few weeks, I completely forgot about it. Honestly, Lucky is right about his call to action, and leaving a review here is the least we can do, as the least LATF members can do. My journey here started when I had literally nothing. I left my job to travel the world with my girlfriend and focus on my own company. I started with a close friend. The same guy ended up betraying me, stealing a lot of money. More importantly, the sense of security I had with our company. At the same time, my first big spot investment, which I was up huge on, went deep into the red, and my savings kept shrinking because of all the traveling me and my girlfriend were doing. Don't get me wrong, I had a lot of stability before and never thought everything I built could collapse at once. Well, it turns out it could. LOL. This was around the beginning of 2024, which is also when I found Lucky on X and started learning about active trading. I love to go into every detail, but I don't want to bore the shite out of everyone. To keep it short, I'm worth 2x 6 figures now, have a full-time job in IT for the moment, and trade daily. Last month alone, I got around 25,000 in payouts from prop firms. Even though I'm currently on a bad losing streak, a little burnt out to be honest, I'm still doing amazing. The main goal is to trade full-time soon. It's always been my passion, even long before I knew anything about it. Lucky is literally the main reason I got here, with the second reason being my will to learn, sit down, and grind. But when I was at my personal bottom, he helped me change my life completely. I know this might sound fake or like some fairy tale, but it's not. This is real. I'm real. And I'm not writing this to flex. It's to show what's actually possible if you're truly passionate and willing to put in the work. I love to be more active in the community, and once things in my private life settle a bit, I will. Right now, I just need some time to reset because I literally feel burnt out at the moment. Forever humble, never forgetting where I came from, and never forgetting how fast life can turn around, both for the better and worse. Above all, forever grateful for Lucky and everything he does in the LATF. It's honestly a privilege for all of us to learn from him. He never fails to amaze me how much work he puts in, trading, sharing setups, replying to DMs, keeping us updated. He's truly an outstanding person. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's never take him for granted. It kind of feels weird reading this. Beyond proud to compliment her. No one else even comes close. You'll hear from me again soon, hopefully. Until then, much love. There is something I want to juxtapose all of these two. There's so many amazing stories in here, honestly. And just to give you a sense, it goes up for a while. There's more equity curves up here too. This is Dr. Jason joining the Discord 3 months ago with a $10,000 account. Before this, I wasn't even profitable. Slowly but surely going up, 150% in 3 months, waiting for the losing streak. But this man has blessed me and taught me more than you can imagine. Thank you. He just shared his trading history. All right. Well, then I want to go through some of these are people who are not members and who are looking to become members. And some of you will probably relate much more to these stories. Hi, Lucky. I would like to apply for your program. I've been studying TA for the last 4 years through multiple different channels, and I've gotten to the point where I feel my TA... Oh, he deleted his message. That actually wasn't the one I was reading. You know, this is sad. Did I screenshot that? It's sad he deleted this. Okay, it's in here. I'm going to read this because the fact he deleted it is unfortunate because the advice I gave him was real. And it wasn't meant to be a jab at him. And I hope he takes it seriously. Let's resize this. Okay. Well, maybe I should reach out to this guy because what I said may have discouraged him, but it's something he needed to hear. As a trader for almost 5 years, I have to say that this channel on the Creator Lucky is one of the few places that I found real good information. I've always wanted to join him, but unfortunately I haven't because I mostly ran out of funds to do it. I've blowed up several accounts, almost all the money I get my hands on. Sometimes I do very good, but other times I just blow everything away. I decided long ago that this is what I want to do. Right now I'm 35 years old, and honestly, I don't see a different path than this to fulfill or succeed at every goal I have. I'm currently at the stage that I don't have any money, no job, and sold almost everything I could to be able to keep trading, and still here I am. I'm probably the only one who believes in me right now. Maybe 1 or 2 other real close friends, including my couple. I really want and need this for my life, but honestly, I'm running out of options. I have tried almost everything, but I guess my strategy or approach to the market keeps failing. I don't think I will stop. Maybe I could do it for occasions. Like right now, I need to put my head on getting a job or something. But I'll say this, I'll never stop trying because I dedicated 5 years of my life to this, and I know I'm no quitter. So having said this, I would love to be mentored and tutored by someone like Lucky. I've always thought his style matches mine, and I know some of the things I do or know come from watching his streams and following very closely on X. So if I get this chance, I'll give my best on my end to become the trader I want to be so I can finally leave this matrix world. Hee hee. Peace. And I said this, you're gambling addicts. Sorry, I said this will be incredibly hard for many of you to hear, and you'll have to fight it with your whole being, but it's true. You are gambling addicts. This wasn't meant to be laughing emojis. You have no intention on becoming traders. You don't want to change anything. You will trade 15 more years doing the same thing. You will say you didn't join the LATF for the next 15 years because you blew up 200 more times and have no money. And what I responded directly to him was, gambling addict. Get a job and use the money to join the LATF and then paper trade. Your problem is you actually need to stop trading with real money. You need to detach your dopamine and psychology from the money and trading. It's a job. And that can be really hard to hear, but if you've been trading for 5 years and that's all you want to do in life, and you can't and won't join the LATF, and someone like this could potentially be a candidate for the scholarship, but you have to make major changes. There's no silver bullet. And if you compare that to the members' testimonies we read, we see a difference, right? We see people who are several months, they just started trading this year, and they're having amazing results. And the question is, do you really want to become a better trader? Or are you just looking to get a fix? And it's really hard to hear, and clearly this was a difficult message for him to hear because he deleted it. And what I would have preferred to have him do is, and I know this can be, something like this can really hurt your ego or make you feel down, is respond to it and have a conversation and maybe do some reflection, because the truth is, if you don't make a change, you will not succeed. You've been at this for 5 years, and it's either time to hang it up or to completely change what you're doing. This video is getting quite long. There are so many applications in here with kind of similar stories. There's some people who wrote some advice in here as well, some members. The main reason I want to do this is I like this application. Name, age. I will seek discipline. I want to be a billionaire. Is because I understand that it's cost prohibitive. You know, there's people in here who say it's 2 months of their, or it's half their month's rent. But there's many people who basically tell a story of, hey, I have a great career, I'm an engineer, I'm whatever, I've been pursuing trading, I've been losing lots of money, I think maybe I could make money if I learn stuff here. It's not really cost prohibitive for them to join, they just don't really take it seriously. 4 years in crypto, lost over 50K. This is a new member, by the way. I did give out some memberships as well, but anyways, I just encourage you guys to understand that there's basically 2 stories that get told over and over again in trading, and one of them gets told much more often than the other. And that's the story of the endless years of no progress. And there's a very small percentage of people who become consistently profitable. And the people who end up on that path are the types of people you'll read about in the members' testimonies. This is my legacy as a trader, and I'm proud of it. So I wanted to share some of that. I really enjoyed reading this, and I really enjoy the scholarship applications. You know, for everybody who feels desperate or beaten down, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but you have to make some dramatic changes. So with that, happy trading, everyone.